Tactical Tycoon Radio, reloading the American dream. Bringing you all the gear you may have never heard of, but won't be able to live without. Whether it's new, up and coming, or just plain exciting, Tactical Tycoon Radio wants to share independent American businesses and their products and services with you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tactical Tycoon Radio with your hosts Gino and Sean.
Hey guys, welcome back to Tactical Tycoon Radio. My name is Gino. With me as always, my co-host Sean. What's going on, Sean?
How you doing, Gino?
Not too bad, my friend. So tonight we have got Joel from Zulu Nylon Gear on. What's going on, Joel?
Hey guys, just working late in the shop tonight.
Awesome. So for people that don't know, that have never heard of Zulu Nylon Gear, can you give us a little overview of what you do out there?
Yeah, sure. So the main thing we do is any kind of like non-apparel, soft goods, all within the sort of tactical military law enforcement realm. All kinds of packs and bags and pouches and all kinds of stuff. Do a lot of design work and then short run production work and stuff like that. And we've got our own Zulu product line and then do a lot of OEM work for other businesses.
Cool. How'd you get started into this?
It's probably the same story as it is for most people involved in, it seems like, in this industry where, you know, I was really into the equipment and stuff just as a user of it. And, you know, you start to look around and you say, man, I just can't quite find the perfect, you know, solution to this problem that I have. And you kind of start thinking, hey, you know what, I could just, you know, find a sewing machine and some fabric and kind of give it a shot myself. And, you know, before you know it, other people are seeing this stuff that you're making for your own personal use, you know, and saying, hey, I'd give you money if you hooked me up with one of those, you know, and it just kind of snowballs. And before you know it, you've got a business with it.
Oh, cool. So these aren't your standard sewing machines, I'm assuming. These are a little more heavy duty.
Oh yeah, these are some pretty serious machines, and it's really only a matter of, it's only a question of when I wind up sewing right through my finger one of these days, and all the associated pain that goes with that.
Yeah, don't stitch yourself together.
They are, I mean, man, they could, I have no doubt you could run like a 1/4-inch sheet of plywood through them or something, and they'd hardly even slow down. So they're pretty serious.
Did you have any experience sewing beforehand, or was it more of, hey, I want to try to make this piece of gear. Let's see what happens?
You know, it was a lot of, I had some just kind of general, just, you know, basic experience with a sewing machine. No real like training or anything with it, but just, you know, as a kid, you just messing around with a sewing machine or whatever, and so when I actually got interested in it seriously with making equipment and stuff, it was a big, I won't say it was a learning process, that's for sure. It was a lot of trial and error, and a lot of time spent frustrated and wanting to throw the machine if it were light enough to do that. And
so where did the Zulu name come from?
So Zulu is just, it's pretty straightforward. It's just my last name is Zaruba with a Z, and so just Z in the phonetic alphabet is Zulu, and I thought that rolled off the tongue a little better than Zaruba Nylon Gear. So
there you go.
with that instead.
So I've seen a lot of really unique products on your website. Personally, I own the Mega Admin Pouch, which really lives up to its name with the Mega. I mean, if you can't fit it into that Mega Admin Pouch, then you probably don't need to bring it with you. But the one thing that always sticks out to me every time I go onto your website is the modernized indie satchel. How did you come up with that idea? Were you just watching Indiana Jones one night and were like, hey, you know what? This needs to be brought into the 21st century?
Almost pretty much. That's one of my favorite products because it was so fun to mess around with, and it was literally just, it's a Friday afternoon, and I don't remember what I was working on, something where I was just kind of burned out and just feeling like, man, I'm sick of making these things all week long or whatever. I just need to do something fun, And for whatever reason, I was thinking about Indiana Jones, and so I was like, it would be fun to just research some photos and try to come up with like a really nice bag. And at first in my mind, it was trying to replicate it perfectly and go to every detail. And of course, after only like 20 minutes of Googling around the internet, you realize that the actual prop in the movie like changes 18 different times throughout the movies, and little details are always different from shot to shot, and because they use different props or whatever it may be. And so I kind of just thought, all right, well, I'll just stick with the spirit of it and just had fun with it, forget about all these little nitpicky details, and tried to just come up with something that was themed like that.
It's awesome. It is it's a man bag that doesn't look like a man bag. Like if for the listeners that don't know what I'm talking about, it's an over the shoulder bag that is made out of nylon with hook and loop on the inside. That'd be perfect for carrying mags to the range. You could use it as an EDC bag, but it doesn't scream tactical. There's not Molly everywhere. It's very low key and very discreet, which is awesome.
Yeah, it was a really fun thing.
Yeah, I've got one of the I've got the big visor panel.
Oh, good, cool.
Sitting in the Jeep, holds all my pens and some of my ID stuff and all the other crap that I keep in the car that would otherwise be strewn about the floor.
That's right.
So what? I know you do some custom work. What do you play with in the custom area?
These days, it's a little, as far as custom work for individuals, it's a little boring. In the very beginning, it was, oh sure, just email me what you need and we'll come up with something cool. And eventually, the reality of running a business like that and stuff, it's impractical, that the number of man hours involved in just coming up with stuff from scratch and stuff. There's no way to cover your costs for something like that. So now these days, a lot of the custom stuff is just like, if of all the products that we got on the website and stuff, if a customer sees it and says, hey, this would be perfect if it was like that, but just one small detail change, remove that pocket or add some molly webbing here or something like that, we can usually accommodate that.
Nice. Yeah, recouping cost of custom work can be pretty darn difficult when you're talking one-offs and maybe even twos. But
right,
it gets to be a real difficult to recover your materials costs and your time.
Right, and at that point too, it's the customer isn't always getting something that's that great, because you might make it to a T to what they're asking for, but just because there's things that the customer won't foresee in the way that they want it, that product might really not be the ideal thing, and it's really 2 or 3 generations past that one, and now your costs are even more ridiculous, trying to come up with something good. So better to just say, hey, these are the ones we figured out, we know it well, and we can talk more authoritatively about what mods might be good ones to have.
Do you ever see any kind of seasonal run on your colors? Do you see more, Ranger greens in the summertime and more grays and blacks as it gets colder out?
Not really. And that could be just because of the specific products that I deal with usually. But it's usually pretty consistent throughout the year.
It seems like working at the holster shop that we won't use any one particular color for months on end, and then something will happen and it'll be nothing but that one color. And I've always wondered, I'm like, is it a seasonal thing? Was there an article in a magazine with pictures?
That is true. Yeah, there you do see like kind of there's no seasonal rhyme, reason to it, but yeah, every once in a while you're kind of like some random product or color combination or something. All of a sudden, just you get 10 times as many orders as you would otherwise, and you're wondering like who made like a forum post or a YouTube video or what caused this.
So what you got coming up for the future with Zulu Nylon?
Right now, it's a lot of OEM work. There are always things on the horizon that I would like to be working on with the Zulu brand, and but it's just at this point there's just not enough hours in the day to just keep up with the current demand, just for stuff like the visor panels and mag pouches and stuff like that. So right now we're just holding steady.
What's the time frame on one of those visor panels? I mean, was that like 2 hours, 3 hours?
Oh, in terms of man hours to make one?
Yeah.
It's usually pretty quick. It's hard to give a exact number since they're done in a assembly line process and stuff.
Right.
But if someone had asked me to, hey, just whip one up right here in a hurry, it's probably about 30 minutes, something like that.
Oh heck.
And at this point, probably with my eyes closed, blindfolded or something.
Yeah, hands behind your back.
Yeah.
Well, don't do that. That's how you get your fingers sewn together.
That's right.
So you've got the ammo transport bags that you're making for a Cloud Defensive, and those are, you want to talk about those for a little bit? Because that seems to be, sure. I've seen a couple of versions that kind of seems to be the new hip thing on Instagram right now, but yours has a really nifty feature in it that I haven't seen on anybody else's.
Yeah. So this is something that I honestly, in the beginning, I didn't really think a whole lot of it. I thought it's a fairly utilitarian thing, and I thought honestly, well, I just use an ammo can or whatever. It's not a big deal. But after making these, and of course I'm biased, but I just find so many uses for these things. So what they are, they're just a real simple cube. Imagine about 6 inches square. It's the padded bag with some really thick 1/2 inch, rigid foam. So it really keeps its shape with a zippered lid, and it's just about the right size to fit around 500 rounds of 9mm. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head what it's, or a few AR mags and some 223. And then the neat thing is on the inside, on the underside of the lid, you've got some elastic loops so you can hold 5 pistol mags. So it's kind of like the perfect little container to spend a day at doing drills or whatever with your handgun. Throw a bunch of 9mm and your pistol mags in there, and you've got your pistol on you, and then your ears and a shot timer, and that's it. Really, you're ready to hit the range.
Yeah, I just found those on Cloud's website. Those are pretty sexy.
Yeah, And he's got the space on the top of him for the mags. Like, that's so cool. I mean, it's not a padded flamethrower case. He also does those.
Nothing's a padded flamethrower case except a padded flamethrower case.
Yeah.
Which everyone should have, by the way.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I mean that ATB bag, I just keep finding other uses for it. Any kind of like use it for camera gear or night vision equipment or any kind of like
bag can be used for damn near anything.
Yeah, it's kind of nice, and you don't have this bulky ammo can that's holding way more ammo than you're going to shoot in a day of
right.
Shooting anyway. It doesn't have, say, like a 50 cal can or something. It doesn't have sharp corners and stuff, so that when it slides around in the back of your vehicle, it's not slamming into the interior and stuff like that.
Right.
It's a handy little bag, that's for sure.
Awesome. So where can our listeners get in touch with you?
So ZuluNylonGear.com is the website, and then as far as social media, it's mainly Instagram right now, which is just Zulu Nylon Gear, and then also on Facebook, Zulu Nylon Gear.
Fantastic. All right, thanks for coming on, Joel. I will probably be seeing you. Are you going to NRA?
Probably not. Not sure yet.
Okay, well, for sure, me and Sean will definitely see you at the Bullpup shoot then.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks for coming on, bud.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
All right, guys, so that was our interview with Joel from Zulu Nylon Gear. What'd you think, Sean?
I've met Joel about the same time you did. He's a pretty cool dude. I've seen some of his stuff. He gifted me a visor way back when.
Nice.
That's a pretty interesting piece. I've seen some of his other stuff. I'm probably gonna get one or two of his double mag pouches for the AR.
Awesome.
And yeah, I mean, Joel's a good guy. I know he trains a lot, and he's far more of a badass than any of us are. I can tell you that.
I really liked in the how he was talking about how it got started, and it was one of those things that, he saw needs that weren't being made, so he was like, you know what, I'm gonna just go out and do it myself.
It's kind of our small business thing, if you don't see it and you can do it, people are starting to just go out and do it on their own and stop waiting on somebody else to do it for them.
So if you guys are looking for high quality nylon gear that's a little bit different than what you see on Amazon, what you see on eBay, check out Zulu Nylon Gear. It's 100% made in the USA by an American. He's just another guy trying to achieve his own American dream. So that'll pretty much wrap it up for this week. If you guys want to get a hold of us, Tactical Tycoon Radio on Facebook. You can email us at
Tactical Tycoon Radio at gmail.com.
Awesome. Feel free to shoot us a message, send us an email. If you are a firearms business, if you're a gun manufacturer, a knife guy, a nylon guy, a training guy, if you got anything to do with stuff that goes boom, feel free to drop us a line if you want to come on the show. All right, guys, like we always say, we are Gun Culture 2.0. Get out.
Get involved.
Get shooting.